And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're going to take a look at a game called Kullerbande, or the English name is The Rolling Gang. Now this is a HABA game, and it's a HABA game that I keep, and I don't keep it for the kids. I keep it for me almost. And I want to show you why I like this game so much. I don't know how easy this game is to procure these days, but it certainly is one that's really interesting and can certainly be a lot of laughs at maybe a late night convention or so, or even just in a play group, or it is a great game to play with your family. Let me show you why. In this game, you're going to use the box here. Alright, in this game, which is 4 players or teams, I suppose you could play teams, you have these clips here that are on the side of the box. You're actually going to be holding the box, like Melody is doing so here in this demonstration. You have a deck of cards. So, when it's your turn, and there's 4 games, the first 3 are remarkably similar. What you do is you'll say, you have a sand timer here, and you'll flip this sand timer over, and then you'll turn over the first one, and I'll say, okay, cow. And then the person has to roll the ball and get it to go through the cow. And then as soon as you do it, turn over the next one, dog. Oh, you missed it. And then, donkey. Okay, so you can keep doing that, and sometimes you'll have duplicates because there's 2 of each one in there. An alternative way to play is for you not to show them, and you just make the sound of the animal. So I say, ribbit, ribbit. This is more like for little kids. Wow, nice one-shotter there. So anyhow, and then there's also a bidding way where you can put them out and say, I can do 2, I can do 3 before the time runs out. Either way, when the time runs out, you will move your clip here on the side of the box as many spaces as animals that you've gone through. And the first person to get to a certain part, or after you've all had a turn, or whatever, is the winner. It would be worth noting here that everything here is magnetic. Well, not the ball, but the rest of it is magnetic. So if I turn the whole thing upside down, I can shake it and it's not going to come out. The stuff is really sturdy here. Well, obviously not if you throw it down. But what you're going to be, you can set it up any way you want. In the last game, you are going to have discs that you have on the board. And what you'll do on your turn is you'll lay out one of each animal, and then each player will take turns with this stick. And they have to flick the discs. Wow, that was terrible. Okay, they have to flick the discs through the animals in a specific order. This is a very different game than rolling the ball. You would think it was very similar, but it's not. So flicking these discs through, and you'll take turns doing that. And once you get it through a certain animal, when it's your turn, you have 4 shots on your turn. And when it's your turn, if you've gotten to a certain animal, you move your clip that far. And then you get to the next animal and you move your clip. The first person to get to the end is the winner. I suppose this is kind of a gaming system. You can make your own variants on how you want to do it. But those are the basic games of how you play. So that's how you play that. To be able to take a box, flip it, and roll. Not the lid, but the bottom of the box. The game is really funny to watch people do. You can get really good at it if you practice long enough to be able to just tilt that box and be able to make the marbles roll. And you can move the animals around and make different kinds of courses and make them so that you have to twist around, or maybe put 2 in a row. Maybe you can, it's really cool when the marble goes through 2 different animals in one shot. That will happen and everyone cheers. And I don't know, it's almost like a spectator sport to watch people doing it and to watch the contortions of their body and the frustration when they continue to miss the pig 5 times in a row trying to roll that marble through. The flicking with the disc is also fun. It's not as fun as rolling the ball around, but it is a nice diversion, and it is something different. Like I said, this game is kind of like a kit that you can take and just get out there and play with all the different methods and do different things. And you let kids play with this, and they'll do it over and over and over and over again. It works for little kids, although they have a much harder time getting that ball through, but they certainly like to try. Flicking the discs is a little easier for them, actually, because they can push the discs through, depending on how little they are. But even all the way up through adults and professional, serious adults will still like this one. A lot of fun. So Kullerbande, or The Rolling Gang, if you ever see it on eBay or at a thrift store or something, definitely get it because it's worth it.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool Stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!